My beloved friend, I want you to pause for a moment because what you are about to read is not just a simple arrangement of words on a page. It is not merely another message that slips into the river of thoughts that pass through your mind each day, but it is something divinely placed before you, something that carries within it the weight of eternity and the whisper of heaven. For this is a last chance message, a secret wrapped in the power of faith, and if you hold it, believe it, and embrace it, your miracle will not just linger somewhere in a distant tomorrow, but it will begin unfolding in your life just 2 minutes after you open your heart to it. You see, God does not deal in accidents. There are no coincidences in the divine script of your life, and the very fact that your eyes have fallen upon this message at this very hour, on this very day, in this very state of your journey, is not random, but a heavenly design, a whisper from the Creator who says to you with infinite tenderness, "My child, I have brought you here because I want you to know that you are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, you are not abandoned, and though the battles you have been facing may feel endless, though the nights of weeping may feel longer than the dawn, though the weight upon your shoulders may feel heavier than you can carry, I am about to release a miracle into your life that will shift the ground beneath your feet and lift you into a place of breakthrough you never thought possible." This is your last chance moment. And when I say last chance, I do not mean that God is shutting the door forever if you do not grab it, but I mean that there are seasons when heaven opens a window of extraordinary favor. There are moments when the alignment of time and destiny meet in a way so precise and so delicate that it may not come again in the same form. And this is one of those windows. This is one of those rare divine appointments. This is one of those times when God is saying, "Look, my child, if you will only believe, if you will only open your hands, if you will only whisper yes to me, then in 2 minutes after you make that decision, the shift will begin, the miracle will be released, and the chains that bound you will start breaking, the sickness that held you will start loosening, the financial lack that haunted you will start reversing, and the closed doors will swing open with the sound of heaven's authority." The secret is not something hidden in the far reaches of the universe. It is not buried under layers of mystery that only scholars or prophets can decipher. But the secret is simply this: faith. Childlike, pure, unshaken faith. The kind of faith that trusts even when it cannot see. The kind of faith that believes even when the evidence is scarce. The kind of faith that says, "God, I do not know how, I do not know when, I do not know through whom, but I know that you are the God who parts seas, who raises the dead, who multiplies bread, who heals the broken. And if you have done it before for others, then you can surely do it now for me." And here is the profound truth you must understand. Miracles are not delayed because God is unwilling. Miracles are often delayed because our hearts are divided, because our lips say, "I believe," but our minds rehearse doubt, because our prayers are filled with words but not with surrender. But today, in this moment, if you let go of that doubt, if you silence that fear, if you put aside that endless calculation of how things will work, and if you simply say, "Yes, Lord, I receive, I believe, I trust," then 2 minutes after that decision, something invisible will move in the realm of the Spirit, and you will know that the miracle is already in motion.
This is why Jesus said, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Be removed,' and it shall be removed. Nothing shall be impossible for you." Mountains, the very symbol of permanence, the very image of immovable obstacles, the very picture of impossibility, can be uprooted by faith so small, so simple, yet so real. And right now, I am telling you, the mountain in your life, whether it is sickness, whether it is loneliness, whether it is lack, whether it is depression, whether it is fear, whether it is betrayal, whether it is confusion, is about to tremble at the sound of your faith, and within 2 minutes of your surrender to God's secret, believe, trust, surrender, it will begin to move. This is not just a promise for someone far away. It is for you, right here, right now, because you are not reading these words by mistake. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. You were drawn here by the Spirit because heaven is shouting your name and saying, "This is your hour. This is your last chance. This is your window. This is your miracle moment. Don't let it slip away. Don't dismiss it. Don't postpone it. but take hold of it, believe it, declare it, and watch how the impossible bends before you. And when it begins to happen, and it will happen, you will see that God is faithful. You will see that what felt like years of delay was simply preparation. You will see that what felt like rejection was really redirection. You will see that what felt like a closed chapter was simply the setting for a new beginning, and you will realize that 2 minutes of true belief, 2 minutes of unshaken surrender, 2 minutes of childlike faith can change a lifetime of pain into a lifetime of joy. So let me leave you with this charge. Do not treat this message lightly. Do not put it aside for later. Do not shrug it off as mere words, but hold it, believe it, and declare with your mouth, "Yes, Lord, I believe. Yes, Lord, I receive. Yes, Lord, I am ready for my miracle." And as you say it, know that the clock of heaven is ticking, and in 2 minutes, the unseen will begin to be seen, the impossible will begin to be possible, and the breakthrough you longed for will begin to manifest in your life. For this is your last chance moment, and heaven has chosen you to receive it.
And so I tell you again, with all the strength of conviction that has been planted in my heart, that this is not simply another passing word to be read and then forgotten like dust blown by the wind, but it is a sacred moment clothed in eternal significance, because every word carries within it a seed, and when that seed falls into a heart that is willing, open, and ready, then life is born out of it, growth springs forth from it, transformation begins because of it, and miracles are released through it. And the miracle that is about to be released into your life will not be ordinary. It will not be casual. It will not be something you can dismiss as coincidence, but it will be so great, so undeniable, so astonishing that both you and those who doubted you will see that it was not your effort, not your calculation, not your wisdom, but the very hand of God at work. You may be asking, why now? Why at this moment? Why does heaven choose this hour instead of the ones before? And the answer is wrapped in the mystery of divine timing. For God is never late. And though your heart may have been weary in the waiting, though you may have cried into the silence of the night, asking why the answer had not yet come, though you may have questioned whether your prayers had been heard at all, heaven was listening the entire time, storing your tears in its vessels, counting your words of faith, preparing the stage for a miracle that would not just satisfy a need, but also testify of God's glory to everyone who witnesses it. And that is why this very message has come to you today, for it is the appointed time. It is the fullness of your waiting. It is the moment where God says, enough delay, enough suffering, enough wandering, for now comes the breakthrough. And let me remind you of this truth that is older than the earth itself, that every man and woman who ever received a miracle had to face a point where everything seemed lost, where the Red Sea was before them and Pharaoh's army behind them, where the doctor said there was no cure, where the money was gone and the creditors were waiting at the door, where betrayal had cut the deepest wound and friends had disappeared into the shadows. But in those darkest places, the light of God shone brightest. In those lowest valleys, the hand of God lifted highest. And so it will be with you. For 2 minutes after you open your mouth to say, "Yes, Lord, I believe," you will feel something shift. Maybe not in the world outside immediately, but inside your spirit, in the atmosphere of your heart. You will feel the heavy weight begin to break. You will feel the chains loosen. You will sense that something invisible has started to move, and that inner witness will be the confirmation that the outer miracle is already on its way.
Think deeply on this. Life has a way of making us believe that miracles are rare, that blessings are reserved for others, that breakthroughs only come to those who have more, who are stronger, who are holier. But God delights in choosing the overlooked, the ordinary, the brokenhearted, the tired and weary, because in lifting them up, His power is magnified, His love is revealed, and His glory is undeniable.
So never again let the enemy whisper to you that you are not worthy. Never again allow your past mistakes to convince you that you are disqualified. Never again surrender to the lie that it is too late for you, because the one who writes your story does not measure you by your failures, but by his grace. And his grace is sufficient to cover every weakness and still open the door to your miracle. So here is what you must do, and it is simple yet profound. Do not let doubt steal this word. Do not let delay weaken your resolve. Do not let fear blind you to the truth, but instead lift your heart right now and declare with full conviction, Lord, I receive this miracle. I believe that within 2 minutes your power will begin to move in my life. I believe that doors are opening. I believe that blessings are flowing. I believe that healing is rising. I believe that joy is returning. I believe that what was broken is being restored. I believe that this is my last chance moment, and I refuse to let it slip away. For when you speak it, heaven hears it. And when heaven hears it, heaven acts. And when heaven acts, nothing on earth, nothing in hell, nothing in the universe can resist it. For the word of God goes forth, and it never returns empty. It always accomplishes what it was sent to do. And the word for you today is this: your miracle is already prepared. Your blessing is already assigned. Your breakthrough is already written. And 2 minutes after you align your faith with this truth, you will see the signs of its arrival begin to unfold before your very eyes.
And so you must understand, beloved soul, that when God sets his eyes upon you and decides that this is your season of deliverance, no power of darkness, no scheme of man, no mistake of your past, no failure of yesterday, no chain of guilt, no voice of accusation, and no force of resistance can hold back what is coming. For the heavens open like a floodgate and pour out blessings that overflow beyond your comprehension. And those blessings are not just for your survival, but for your elevation, not just for your healing, but for your testimony, not just for your comfort, but for your calling. Because when God lifts you, he also appoints you as a living witness to others who are still in their valley of despair, showing them that if he could do it for you, then he can do it for them as well. You have been through storms that you thought would drown you. You have walked through fire that you thought would consume you. You have cried tears that you thought would never stop. And yet here you are, still breathing, still hoping, still holding on to a thread of faith, even if it feels small. And that small faith, though it may be like a mustard seed, is enough to move the mountain before you, because God never asked you to carry the weight of the miracle yourself. He only asked you to believe. And when you believe, even for a moment, even in weakness, even with trembling lips, heaven moves in ways you cannot see. Angels are dispatched, obstacles are rearranged, opportunities are created, and what seemed impossible suddenly becomes reality. Do not think it strange that this message has reached you right now, for there are no accidents in the kingdom of God. There is no coincidence in the timing of heaven. Everything is orchestrated like a symphony, every note precise, every moment chosen. And your life is not some random accident of existence, but a carefully crafted journey with a divine destination. So even the hardships you endured were not without purpose. They were shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for the weight of glory that is about to rest on your shoulders. For if you had received the miracle before, you might not have been ready. But now, after the breaking, after the waiting, after the pruning, you are ready to carry it, to protect it, to multiply it, and to testify of it. And when the miracle comes, it will not be quiet and hidden unless it must be for your protection. But often it will be loud enough to silence the mouths of those who mocked you, bold enough to shock those who doubted you, radiant enough to draw others into the light of God. Because miracles are not only about answering your prayers, they are about declaring his sovereignty, his compassion, his mercy, and his undeniable presence in the affairs of mankind. And this is why 2 minutes after you surrender your doubts, 2 minutes after you whisper your agreement, 2 minutes after you lift your faith higher than your fear, something begins to change, not just in your spirit, but in the realm around you, because faith is like a spark that lights a fire, and once the fire starts, no darkness can extinguish it. You might say, but I have been disappointed before. I have waited and nothing happened. And yes, disappointment is real and waiting is heavy. But do not confuse delay with denial. For what was withheld before was not rejection, but redirection. And what seemed like silence was actually preparation. And what you called a closed door was actually a shield protecting you from something not meant for you. And now that the true door is opening, you will see that every detour was worth it. Every tear was worth it. Every lonely night was worth it. Because the miracle that is about to arrive is greater than the one you asked for. It is bigger, wider, deeper, more lasting, more beautiful, more complete. For God always gives exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think. Therefore, let hope rise again in you. Let courage return to your bones. Let faith fill your breath. Let expectation awaken in your eyes. Because when you believe that this is your last chance moment and you seize it with both hands, refusing to let go, refusing to doubt, refusing to shrink back, then heaven has no choice but to honor that faith. Because God Himself has bound His word with a promise that those who call on His name will never be put to shame. And you, yes, you are about to see that promise unfold in your life.